The entire operations floor fell silent the moment the CEO stepped into the cybersecurity department. Bright daylight poured through the glass windows of the modern office, but one desk stood out from all the others. A young cybersecurity engineer was slumped over his keyboard, fast asleep while warning alerts blinked across several computer monitors. Employees exchanged nervous glances as the CEO's face hardened with disappointment. Without asking a single question, she made a decision that would change both of their lives forever. She believed she had caught the most irresponsible employee in the company, but hidden behind those exhausted eyes was a sacrifice no one had noticed, a battle that had lasted 48 relentless hours to save the company from financial ruin. Before we continue, if you believe kindness, understanding, and second chances can change lives, please take a moment to like this video, leave a comment, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Kindness Corner. Your support helps us bring more inspiring stories to people around the world. The exhausted employee was named Adrian Mercer, a quiet 34-year-old cybersecurity specialist known more for his dedication than for speaking about himself. While others left the office every evening, Adrian often stayed late, making sure every firewall, server, and customer database remained secure. Few people noticed his efforts because success in cybersecurity usually meant nothing happened. If hackers failed, nobody celebrated. They simply assumed the systems had always been safe. 2 days earlier, Adrian had detected strange activity hidden deep inside the company's network. At first it looked harmless, but years of experience told him something far more dangerous was unfolding. A sophisticated hacking group was quietly attempting to infiltrate the company's financial servers. Instead of announcing the threat immediately and creating panic, Adrian began tracing every digital footprint, working nonstop to isolate the attack before customer information could be stolen. For 48 continuous hours, Adrian barely left his chair. He survived on bottled water, black coffee, and vending machine snacks. His phone remained unanswered as worried relatives wondered why he had disappeared. The morning sunlight turned into afternoon, then another sunrise arrived without Adrian noticing. Every minute became a race against invisible enemies trying to break through the company's defenses. The attackers became increasingly aggressive. Automated systems lit up with thousands of intrusion attempts while hidden malware tried to spread across internal servers. Adrian manually shut down vulnerable connections, rebuilt security layers, and created emergency defenses that prevented millions of dollars in potential losses. No manager had instructed him to do it. He simply knew that if he stopped, the company might not survive the attack. Finally, just after sunrise on the second day, Adrian blocked the final breach attempt. The hackers disappeared from the network, defeated after nearly 2 exhausting days of digital warfare. Relief washed over him for the first time. His hands trembled from fatigue, his eyes burned from staring at screens, and his body simply gave up. Sitting in front of his keyboard, surrounded by reports he intended to submit, Adrian closed his eyes for what he believed would be only a few seconds. That was exactly when CEO Vivienne Ashcroft arrived for an unannounced department inspection. Vivienne had built a reputation for demanding discipline and excellence. Seeing an employee sleeping during office hours immediately convinced her that laziness had infected her cybersecurity team. Without reviewing the flashing reports or asking the surrounding engineers what had happened, she instructed human resources to terminate Adrian's employment immediately. Several co-workers tried to explain, but the decision had already been made. Adrian quietly packed his few belongings into a cardboard box. He never argued. He never defended himself. His exhaustion had stolen even the strength to explain the battle he had just finished fighting. As he walked through the office under the bright afternoon sun, many employees lowered their heads, feeling that something deeply unfair had just happened. Hours later, the company's senior network director returned from an emergency meeting and immediately noticed Adrian's empty workstation. Confused, he opened the security logs and his expression changed instantly. Every report documented the largest cyberattack the company had ever experienced. Adrian had personally blocked every stage of the intrusion while preventing catastrophic financial damage. The director rushed straight to the CEO's office carrying hundreds of pages of security records. Vivienne read every report in complete silence. Her confidence slowly dissolved into disbelief. Every timestamp proved Adrian had worked continuously for 48 hours. Every successful defense carried only one name. Even more heartbreaking was the final unfinished report still open on his computer. Adrian had been writing recommendations to make the company's systems even safer before exhaustion finally overcame him. For the first time in many years, Vivienne realized she had judged someone based on a single moment instead of the full story. The next morning, beneath the clear daylight sky, she drove personally to Adrian's modest home. She found him repairing an old bicycle outside, looking physically exhausted but surprisingly peaceful. Instead of offering excuses, Vivienne sincerely apologized. She admitted that leadership required listening before judging and thanked Adrian for protecting thousands of employees whose jobs had unknowingly depended on his courage. Adrian accepted her apology with quiet humility. He explained that recognition had never been his goal. He simply believed that protecting people was part of his responsibility. Those simple words left a lasting impression on Vivienne. A week later, the company held a gathering in the bright central atrium. Instead of another routine business meeting, every employee witnessed something unforgettable. Vivienne publicly admitted her mistake before the entire organization. She reinstated Adrian immediately, promoted him to Director of Cybersecurity Operations, introduced mandatory employee wellness policies, and established a new leadership principle requiring every manager to understand the full story before making life-changing decisions. The applause lasted several minutes, but what touched Adrian most was seeing co-workers smile with genuine respect. They had always known how hard he worked, and now the entire company understood it too. The office became more compassionate, communication improved, and employees no longer feared being judged without being heard. If this story has touched your heart so far, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who believes in fairness, leave a heartfelt comment, and subscribe to Kindness Corner. Your support inspires us to keep sharing stories that remind the world compassion still matters. Special request, comment below with the words, "Always listen before you judge," if you believe everyone deserves the chance to explain their story. As Adrian looked across the office filled with sunlight and hopeful faces, he realized that the greatest victory had not been defeating the hackers. It had been proving that kindness, humility, and understanding could repair hearts faster than any technology ever could. And for everyone who witnessed his journey, one lesson remained unforgettable: sometimes the person who appears to have failed is actually the one who has been carrying everyone else through the storm.